Field for tonight's first race is coming out onto the track, parading the post behind Parade Marshal and Outrider Kathy McDonald. 15 race card tonight, first of 4 divisions, 2-year-old pacing colts as the Ohio State Fair Stakes continues. This is the Buckeye State pace, once again first of 4 divisions and a field of 8. Number 1, Make Me Proud Ty, owned by Michael Bardo, driven by Mike Wilder. 2, Noble Betcha, owned by Charles Miller, and a late driver change to Ken Holliday. 3, Ombre Highlight, owned by the Highlight Stable, Linda Bond and Brian Brown with Brad Hanners. 4, Samurais, owned by Ron Bates. Dave Hawk will be aboard. 5, What's the Big Deal, owned by Diana Lynn Malone. Joe Adamski will be in the bike. 6, Expression, owned by Tom Lane with David Myers. 7 is Spigot, owned by George Steffel with Pius Sunland. Number 8, Sammunition, owned by Ron Potter, Martin Pauly, Mike Campbell, and Joseph Festa. Jody Essig will be in the sulky. Field for tonight's first race. No changes in the double. First race has taken that final turn. Starting gate is underway as the field moves in behind starter John Betts. It is post time. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off in pacing. Noble Betcha with a rush between horses takes the lead. Ombre Highlight right alongside in second. Down the backstretch, Make Me Proud Ty into third. Samurais is up on the outside. Sammunition far outside looking for a seat. What's the Big Deal now parking him out? Here comes Spigot quickly taking over his spot along the rail, and Expression is 8th and last as they drive to the quarter-mile pole. Here comes Noble Betcha on the outside of Hombre Highlight to get the lead in a moderate 28 seconds flat. 2-year-olds in parade open up this card past the stands. Noble Betcha for catch driver Kenny Holiday moves away as the 1 on a nickel favorite. Noble Betcha will take plenty of beating from here. Noble Betcha on top, a length and a half. The Chestnut is stalking second, Hombre Highlight. After that comes Make Me Proud Ty. As they wheel around the clubhouse turn, Samurais into fourth. What's the Big Deal in fifth? Ranging up on the outside, Expression, Spigot, and Sammunition. They're at the half in 58 and 1. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Noble Betcha bouncing right along. On his heels in second, Ombre Highlight, followed up on the outside by Make Me Proud Ty third. Down the backstretch, Expression is doing the hard work on the outside fourth. Samurais is fifth. What's the Big Deal comes off the rail. Up on the outside, Spigot and Sammunition. Side by side and stride for stride, racing by 3/4. Expression jumps off stride on the outside in 1:27 and 2. Wheeling around the far turn, Noble Betcha, the 3 is now on the run. The 5's got to go wide. They now move to the head of the stretch. Out on top, it's Noble Betcha by a good margin. Make Me Proud Ty next. Here comes the long shot up the rail, Sammunition, racing through the stretch. Noble Betcha continues to lead the way. Make Me Proud Ty. Here comes Sammunition closing late. One, Make Me Proud Ty holds on second. 8, fast closing third, Sammunition, and the 5, What's the Big Deal, was fourth. In the winner's circle, Noble Betcha, a 2-year-old bay gelding by Noble Land Sam out of Betcha I Cam. Owned in Napoleon by Charles W. Miller, trained by Max Shaw, given a flawless drive by Ken Holliday. Covering the mile in 1:56, number 2, Noble Betcha, the winner of tonight's first race. Mr. Paul Meckling from the Ohio State Fair Stakes in the winner's circle to meet and greet Kenny Holliday, Max Shaw, and Charles Miller. The 2-1 exacta, $23.40, $23.40. The try, $123.20. Post time at 7:19 for race number 2. Field for tonight's second race coming out onto the track. Second division for 2-year-old pacing colts. Number 1, Trapezoid, owned by Hall Investment Company, driven by David Myers. Number 2, Noble Hot Short, owned by Roger Reed and Alvin Long with driver Brad Hanners. 3, Star Blaster, owned by Leonard Buckner and Tom Brinkerhoff. Number 4, Crown Time Returns, owned by Esther Crownover, late driver change Jody Essig. 5, Casino Red, owned by the Red Dog Racing Stable, Bay Racing Stable, in the bike, David Miller. 6, Indian Fever, owned by Pal Pack Stables and David Hawk. 7, Sharp Dress Sam, owned by Jeffrey and Kevin Reed and Dean Collins. 8, Confessor, owned by Michael Bundy. Randy Tharps will be in the sulky. 6 minutes till post time. Happy birthday going out to Robert LeBeau. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Crown Time returns, takes the lead. Casino Red, middle of the racetrack. Trapezoid on the rail. Noble Hot Short parked on the outside. Indian Fever, the late lever, from 5th as they drive to the quarter-mile pole. Star Blaster, followed by Sharp Dress Sam and Confessor. As they move into the opening quarter-mile pole, here comes Noble Hot Short with a rush. Brad Hanners wants the top with this guy. Casino Red right alongside. A quick 27-3. Noble Hot Short has brushed to the top. Well out in the middle of the racetrack, Noble Hot Short bouncing along with about a 3-length advantage. Casino Red is second. Crown Time returns in third. Indian Fever drives up on the outside. Trapezoid will need some angles from here. Here comes Confessor, rapidly moving, now getting caught 3 wide around the clubhouse turn. A gap of 3 lengths into Star Blaster, and the trailer remains Sharp Dress Sam, and they're at the half in 58-2. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Indian Fever moves away. Moving up on the outside, Confessor to second. Noble Hot Short third. Casino Red, who took him by the quarter, quickly shuffled back into fourth. Moving up on the outside, Trapezoid to fifth. Nowhere to go in sixth. Crown Time returns. Here comes Sharp Dress Sam. Star Blaster is the trailer. Racing by 3/4. Indian Fever pours it on in 1:26-2. Around the far turn, Indian Fever by about 2.5. Noble Hot Short is second. Confessor's up on the outside third. Casino Red waits for room in between rivals. Racing through the stretch, Indian Fever, Noble Hot Short still attacking. Casino Red up on the outside, but it's line away for this field. Indian Fever, Casino Red second, Noble Hot Short third. Result of tonight's second race is now official. In the winner's circle, Dave Hawk and Indian Fever, 2-year-old Big Hope by Nobleland Sam out of Hay Lighting. Owned in Ottawa by the Pal Pack Stables, trained by Dave Stratton. Driven tonight by Dave Hawk, covering the mile in 1:55-1 to equal his lifetime best. Number 6, Indian Fever, the winner. We are waiting for some late simulcast money to come in. Custard Stand and Candy Stand will pay the $2 daily double that paid $3. Once again, folks, large crowd on hand tonight. If you're on track, please wager early to avoid being shut out. Lines will be long. Horses are on the track with about 7 minutes till post time. Here's the field for the Superfecta, sponsored by Greenfield Area Medical Center. 1, Shady Weather, owned by Danny Jones. Randy Tharps drives. 2, Devil of a Day, owned by Bruce Roberts, Michelle Strickland, H. Howard Murray, and the driver is Dave Hawk. 3, I'm a Bad Man, owned by B.L. Conway. Mark Evers, the reinsman. 4, Daddy Shadow, owned by Victoria Howard. Jody Essig will be aboard. 5, Fonda Samadhi, owned by David Up, with Charlie Neff. 6, Witch Cam, owned by Arsena Farm. Hugh Sutherland, driven by Ken Holiday. 7, Dusty Plains, owned by Dan Ader. David Miller will be in the sulky. 6 minutes till post time. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing between horses. Devil of a Day takes the lead. Daddy Shadow's up on the outside. Fonda Samadhi the far outside. They're down the backstretch. Shady Weather gets away in fourth. After that, I'm a Bad Man. Witch Cam and Dusty Plains. Rolling to the quarter-mile pole. Not content for the 2-hole. Here's Devil of a Day driving up on the outside to challenge Henry Fonda Samadhi. Moving by the opening quarter, leaders are heads apart. Fonda Samadhi along the rail, right alongside Devil of a Day, and a good 27-3. Past the stands, Devil of a Day getting stung here pretty good by Charlie Neff and Fonda Samadi. Daddy Shadow quickly on the bit, rolls in to be a closer third. Shady Weather, who took the big step up tonight, is going to find these guys a little bit tougher in fourth as they move around this lower turn of the half-mile pole. Here comes I'm a Bad Man up on the outside, Witch Cam and Dusty Plains. They're at the half in 57-1, and Daddy Shadow is under an all-out siege. He's ready to blow right on by Devil of a Day. Daddy Shadow on the outside now gets the lead. Devil of a Day right alongside in second. This guy could be long gone tonight. Daddy Shadow quickly draws off by a length and a half. Devil of a Day is in there second, followed by Fonda Samadi in third. I'm a Bad Man on the outside. Shady Weather along the rail. Between horses, Dusty Plains. Witch Cam is seventh on the outside, 125-1. Field moves to the head of the stretch. Daddy Shadow's got the lead by a widening 3. Devil of a Day in second. Here comes I'm a Bad Man driving up on the outside. Dusty Plains on the far outside. Jody Essig driving the hair off this guy. It's Daddy Shadow, I'm a Bad Man, Dusty Plains. I'm a Bad Man, Dusty Plains, noses apart. 20 and 72-60. Windows are now up and on tonight's fourth race. Scratch number 6, Stand My Fire, lame. David Miller will drive number 7, Louis D. Stand My Fire, scratch, lame. Louis D. Driver will be David Miller. Once again, folks, a huge crowd tonight. Please wager early. Post time at 8:13. The mile 154-4. Here comes the field for tonight's fourth race as the Ohio State Fair Stakes continues. Third of 4 divisions for 2-year-old pacing colts. Purse here $24,600. Number 1, Greenwich, owned by David Whitmer. Mike Roth drives. 2 is Workplace, owned by Richard and Carol McCumber and C. Ed Mullinax with driver Ricky McCumber Jr. Number 3, Noble 2, owned by Joe Criswell with Jeff Fout. 4, Ricky's Flo and Alley, owned by Mark and Ricky Williams with Brad Hanners. Number 5, AV's Pride, owned by Leonard Buckner. David Myers will be in the bike. 6, Stand My Fire, scratch. 7, Louis D, owned by the Gwinny Lou Stables Limited with a late driver change to David Miller. 6 minutes till post time. Third division, 2-year-old pacing colts, $24,600. Please wager early. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Louis D on the far outside. Noble 2 between horses. Here comes Workplace with a rush and Greenwich along the rail, followed by Ricky's Flo and Alley, and the trailer is AB's Pride to the turn. Quickly driving from between horses and rushing to the top, it's Workplace. Workplace draws off by 2. Greenwich settles in there second, tucked in nicely. Noble 2 after that. Ricky's Flo and Alley. AB's Pride, Louis D tried to leave, couldn't make it, shuffled back. 27-1, speeding past the stands. 2 to 5 favorite controls the front end right now under confident handling. Workplace for Ricky McCumber, bouncing along a length and a half. Greenwich going a meantime journey in second, followed by Noble 2, who's gapping a bit in third. Ricky's Flo and Ellie, AB's Pride and Louis D from the back. They're at the half-mile pole. Workplace in a workmanlike manner leads away in 57. Out of the turn and down the backstretch. Workplace has the lead by a length and a half. Greenwich stalking second, prompting third, Noble 2. After that, Ricky's Flowing Alley, AV's Pride, and Louis D. with about 3/8 of a mile to pace. Chugging to 3/4. Workplace continues to lead the way. Greenwich is now a clear second. Louis D. trying to make up some ground from the back. He is flying by 3/4, 126 and 4. Better keep your eye on the purple and white. He's got Louis D. gobbling up ground on the far outside. Off the turn in the stretch. They're on their way home. Workplace brings them down the stretch. Workplace on top. Back on the attack. Greenwich between horses. Louis D. is up on the outside, and Noble 2 waits for the passing lane. This is a no smoking zone as Workplace takes this field coast to coast. Greenwich second, and Noble 2 will finish third. Here comes the field for race 5. No twin try carryover. 1, I'm Steven, owned by Charles Brannigan. Randy Tharps drives. 2, I'd Like to Win, owned by Donna and Ronald Jellis. DCLD Stables, driven by David Miller. Number 3 is Albert Highlight, owned by the Highlight Stable. Brian Brown with Mike Wilder. 4, Blue Ribbon, owned by Joe Sobracco and Don Latore, trained by Gary 2R Martin with Kenny Holiday aboard. 5 is the Roadster Sabra, owned by the Shure Cohen Stable, driven by Del S. Miller. 6, Pops Creek, owned by Tony Ann Boroff-Hayner with Dave Hawk. 7 is Bartolino, owned by Paint Creek Farm with Jody Essegate, Burren Bunny, owned by Charles Gillespie with Darren Mauser. 9, Look No Rain, owned by Joyce and Dick McClellan with Dave Rankin. 10, Let's Rock, owned by Ralph Conley Jr. Brad Hanners will be in the sulky. No changes in the 5th, no carryover. Post time in 5 minutes. Now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Roadster Sabra takes the lead. I'm Steven along the rail. Blue Ribbon between horses. Here comes Halbert Highlight. Let's Rock out of the second tier to 5th. I'd Like to Win away a bit slow from 6th as they make their way to the first turn, and they're going at a pretty good clip in here. Pops Creek, Bartolino up on the outside. Burren Bunny is now the late lever, 10th on the outside. Look No Rain as they drive to the quarter-mile pole. Off stride, Blue Ribbon there by the opening quarter and a quick 27 and 1. They're off that top turn. Racing past the stands to the half-mile pole, and I'm Steven has got the top. I'm Steven on top, a length and a half. Roadster Sabra is cooped up in second, followed by Halbert Highlight in third. Let's Rock fourth. I'd Like to Win is about ready to move. He's trying to flush somebody as they wheel around this paddock turn and head to the half-mile pole. The Hawkster is next with Pops Creek. Long shot Burren Bunny. Look No Rain up on the outside. Bartolino will have to close like a fine wine, and at the end, it's Blue Ribbon. We got action now after a tepid half of 57 and 3. Randy Tharps raises the lines on I'm Steven, and he's there. 3 parts to length. Halbert Highlight is up on the outside. Nowhere to go for Roadster Sabra. Dave Miller is just jogging right now with I'd Like to Win. Let's Rock is buried in 5th. Here comes Pops Creek up on the outside. Burren Bunny. Look No Rain. Toward the rail, Bartolino and Blue Ribbon 126. Driving around the far turn. I'm Steven continues to lead the way. Albert Highlight is up on the outside second. Along the rail, Roadster Sabra third. I'd Like to Win's got some work to do inside the final 16th. All alone tonight, it's I'm Steven. Tight for second between Roadster Sabra and Let's Rock. On tonight's sixth race, fourth and final division of two-year-old pacing colts in the Buckeye State Pace for $25,300 in a field of 8. 1-5 exacta, 107.6. Attention, Barry Conrad, please report to the winner's circle. Barry Conrad, report to the winner's circle. Here comes the field for tonight's sixth race as the Ohio State Fair Stakes continue, fourth and final division for two-year-old pacing colts in the Buckeye State Pace for $25,300. One Hell's a Sam, owned by Trish and Bruce Soulsby of Powell, Ohio, trained by Gary 2R Martin and Kenny Halliday. 2 Will's Falcon, owned by Mike Metters, Kevin Leinberger, driven by Jody Essig. 3 Sox Alexis, owned by Francis and Milton Schloss with Dave Rankin. 4 Moonlight Silver, owned by J.D. Burnett and Chip Noble. Number 5, Going Like Sam, owned by Richard Elwood with Dave Hawk in the bike. 6, Gifted Ruler, owned by John and Diana Eckley with Brad Hanner. 7, Falcon Sam, owned by Richard Brooks with Mike Wilder. 8, Sam's Encore, owned by James Hoffler. David Miller will be in the sulky. Happy anniversary wishes going out tonight to John and Chris Eaton. And there they go. They're off in pacing. Sam's Encore like a runaway on the far outside, and Gifted Ruler with a rush between horses. They're down the backstretch. Jumping off stride further back in the field, that is the 2 Will's Falcon, and this is no holds barred here in the first eighth of a mile as Sam's Encore overcame the outside post like a thoroughbred. Driving up on the outside, Gifted Ruler second. Going Like Sam, who's going to be third. Here's Sox Alexis fourth. Moonlight Silver is next in line fifth as they drive by the opening quarter in a quick 27-2. Hell's a Sam is gapping big time from the rail. Falcon Sam in the early breaker is Will's Falcon here. Sox Alexis on the outside now getting the lead. Sox Alexis moves away on top. Sam's Encore lets him go without too much of a tussle second. Around the clubhouse turn, the Hawkman's got Going Like Sam in third. Next in line as they hit the half-mile pole, Gifted Ruler. Moonlight Silver's about ready to strike. He's now 4 from the top in 57. Moonlight Silver drives to the outside, up the backstretch. Jumping off stride further back in the field and inside the pylon, that was Hell's a Sam with about 3/8 of a mile to pace. Sox Alexis continues to lead the way. Moonlight Silver under a full head of steam is up on the rim second. Sam's Encore third. Gifted Ruler now stalking on the outside. He's off stride by 3/4 in, 126-2. Moonlight Silver on the outside. Sox Alexis along the rail. Going Like Sam is up on the outside. Sam's Encore is next, and Gifted Ruler as the field straightens away. Sox Alexis. Moonlight Silver in the center, still coming. Here's Going Like Sam driving up on the outside. Going Like Sam. Moonlight Silver is still coming. Going Like Sam now gets the lead. Tapped down in the sixth, Hell's a Sam was seventh. Will's Falcon eighth. Sox Alexis third. Moonlight Silver second. Going Like Sam the winner. Gifted Ruler was fifth. Falcon Sam sixth. Sam's Encore was fourth. 7-8-3. Here comes the field for tonight's seventh race, exacting trifecta wagering. Number 1, TMJ, owned by Scott Mogan, driven by Randy Tharps. Number 2, Greystone Paycheck, owned by Jeff Gibson and David Decker with Del S. Miller. 3, Errand Boy, owned by Charles W. Taylor, and the rangeman is Ryan Holton. 4, Mansour Mindale, owned by Charles Elam with Kenny Holliday. 5, Keep On Truckin' Sam, owned by Charles Autry with Jody Essig in the bike. 6, Such a Fuss, owned by Alex Spence with David Hawk. 7, Midnight Heat, owned by Eric Ledford and Ronald Hughes, and the driver is Mike Wilder. 8 is Full Time Sam, owned by Tim Johnston, Charles Amicon Jr., Connie Morgan, and Roland Rue, and Brad Hanner's 9, Speculum, owned by Dan Meyer and Orville Schroeder, with a late driver change to David Miller. 5 minutes till post. Away. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Such a Fuss on the far outside takes the lead. TMJ with a rush along the rail. Keep on trucking. Sam, who's going to be third, and Greystone Paycheck fourth. Here comes Speculum, the late lever, up on the outside. Toward the rail, Aaron Boy. After that, Mansour Mindale. Midnight Heat, and at the end, the early trailer is going to be Full Time Sam. They're on their way to the quarter-mile pole, and Such a Fuss has got the lead. TMJ second. Gap of 3. Keep on trucking Sam. Greystone is gapping big time. 27-1, speeding past the stands to the 3/8. Up top, Such a Fuss with the white hood leads the way. Followed by TMJ second. Greystone finding his best stride. Comes to the outside. Keep on trucking Sam got caught again. Here's Speculum, live cover, moving up on the outside steadily from the back of the pack. Around the clubhouse turn, Aaron Boy. Here comes the Monsignor up on the outside. On the far outside, Midnight Heat and Full Time Sam, 56-4. Out of the turn and down the backstretch. Such a Fuss trying to make every pole when he won, leads the way. Greystone is now looking him right in the eye second. TMJ cocked, locked, and ready to rock from third. Speculum is now fourth. Mansour Mindale is up on the outside. Jody Essex trying to get the truck out of here. On the far outside, Midnight Heat here he comes on the far outside. Nearest the rail, Aaron Boy now in between horses. Full Time Sam, 125-4. This one is absolutely wide open. Speculum on the extreme outside now gets the lead. Such a Fuss gives way. Here's Midnight Heat on the extreme outside, racing through the stretch. It's Speculum, Midnight Heat, Full Time Sam, Keep on trucking Sam closing. It is Speculum to the wire, tight for second. The 8 got there. Full Time Sam over Midnight Heat. Here comes the unofficial winner of race 7, number 9, Speculum. A 4-year-old brown gelding by Albert out of Darky, Dallas, owned by Dan Meyer and Orville Schroeder of Ottawa. Giving trainer Dave Stratton a second victory on the program. Winning driver David Miller his second. Covering the mile here in 154-3 and a lifetime best, number 9, Speculum. The unofficial winner of tonight's 7th race. It is now official. Windows are now up and on the 8th as the 3-year-olds take over. Scratch number 2 after Sam, 6. Scratch number 2 after Sam. Post time is upcoming in 13 minutes. 3, Greystone Paycheck 8th. Aaron Boy 9th. Mansour Mindale was 6th. Keep on trucking Sam of 3 divisions for the Ohio State Fair Stakes. 3-year-old Pacing Colt, the Director of Agriculture pace for $25,400. Number 1 is Look Maynard, owned by Maynard Hagemeyer and Kathy Smith, driven by Jeff Smith. 2 after Sam has been scratched, and 3 is Direct Zombro, owned by Gene Campbell and Jody Essig. 4, He a Lucky Star, owned by Leonard Buckner. Jeff Fout will bring him out of post 4. 5, BG Dundee, owned by Edward Horenstein, driven by Frank Harris III. 6 is Money Battle, owned by Dan Russo and Robert Parker with David Miller. Number 7, Sharp Sam, owned by Earl Zerfus Jr. with Mark Winters. 8, Heart Pan Soul, owned by Charles Miller. Brad Hanners will be in the sulky. Scratch number 2 after Sam in 5 minutes till post. Is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Direct Zombro between horses takes the lead, and Look Maynard along the rail. He a Lucky Star, Money Battle driving wide on the far outside. Nearest the rail, BG Dundee moves in to be 5th, followed by Sharp Sam. And Heart Pan Soul is Amu to the quarter-mile pole. Driving away on top, it's Direct Zombro, by a length, Money Battle. Charging up on the outside, second, Look Maynard moves in to be 3rd. He a Lucky Star, BG Dundee, Sam Sharp, Heart Pan Soul. 28-1 in parade, racing past the stands. Forging to the front, the 1-2 favorite. It's now got chalk written all over it. Money Battle, a length and a half. Direct Zombro is in the second. Look Maynard follows a close-up third. After that, He a Lucky Star, the newcomer. B.G. Dundee looks to float. After that, Sam Sharp and Heart Pan Soul. Lengths apart around the clubhouse, turn to the half-mile pole. Money Battle, Nolo Contesto on the front end at the half in 58-4. They might be fighting for minor shares in here. Out of the turn and down the backstretch. Money Battle, yet to wage war, leads the way. Direct Zombro on his heels in second. Look Maynard for third. The last four better be super horses from here. As Dave Miller raises the line, Money Battle responds. Money Battle, a length and a half. Direct Zombro second. Look Maynard third. They're by 3/4 in 127-3. The real racing starts now around the far turn. Money Battle leads the way. Look Maynard comes to the outside. Direct Zombro will stay the pocket, wait for the passing lane. 7 wide in the drive. Money Battle brings him home. Direct Zombro is second. Between horses, Look Maynard. Up on the far outside, Sam Sharp. Here's a rocking chair drive. Money Battle, Direct Zombro, and Look Maynard will finish third. Money Battle, 3-year-old black gelding by Towner's Big Guy out of Time By. Owned by Dan Russo of Westerville, Robert Parker of Quanah, Texas. Trained by Jeff Cox. Driven tonight coast to coast by David Miller. Covering the mile here in 155-1. Number 6, Money Battle, the unofficial winner of tonight's 8th race. That is a triple so far, a cart trick for David Miller. Tonight's 8th race, named the Director of Agriculture Pace in the winner's circle, representing the state of Ohio and the Ohio State Fair Stakes, is the director, Mr. Fred Daly. Windows will open up here on the 9th. Pretty good field of 3- and 4-year-olds. Here's a field for the 9th, number 1, Western Pursuit. Owned by Darby's Ed Stable, George Kohler, driven by Mike Wilder. 2, Gifted Cowboy, owned by Diana Eckley and Norva Huber with Brad Hanners. 3, Western Hero, owned by Brittany Farms with Jeff Fout. 4, Grin Reaper, owned by Dave Rankin, Ellicott Shaker Motors. Dave Rankin will be aboard. Number 5, Noble Chairman, owned by Molly Farmer and Joanne Armbruster with Del S. Miller. Number 6, Call Me Nuke, owned by Ron Gorby and Jack Daly. 7, Noble Ho, owned by the Redland Stable and Tom York with David Miller. And number 8 is Western Gentleman, owned by John and Victoria Howard. Dave Hawk will be in the sulky. Field for race 9, 5 minutes till post. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Gifted Cowboy between horses takes the lead. Noble Chairman up on the outside. Western Pursuit along the rail. Here comes Western Hero between the dueling leaders from 4th. As they make their way to the first turn, here comes Grin Reaper, Noble Chairman, Call Me Nuke, Noble Ho, and Western Gentleman. As they roll to the opening quarter-mile pole, Western Hero up on the outside now gets the lead. It's Western Hero driving on top, Gifted Cowboy second. Western Pursuit in third, 27-4. Racing past the stands to the half-mile pole, Western Hero has grabbed the racetrack. Western Hero for Jeff Fout by 2. Gifted Cowboy second, Western Pursuit in full throttle third. Here comes Grin Reaper up on the outside. Call Me Nuke is now ready to slide to the outside. Here's Noble Chairman after that, Noble Ho and Western Gentleman. Around the clubhouse, turn to the half-mile pole. Western Hero trying to make every polo winning one, leads the way. They're at the half in a soft 57-4. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Western Hero by 2. Gifted Cowboy second, Western Pursuit in third. Grin Reaper making little headway in 4th. Noble Chairman is 5th. Up on the outside, Call Me Nuke after that, Noble Ho and Western Gentleman. But Western Hero begins to get away on the front end. It's now Western Hero by 2 lengths, racing by 3/4 in fast 125-2. Around the far turn, Western Hero being set down for the drive. Gifted Cowboy in second. Western Pursuit on the outside, third. Here comes Noble Ho blasting out of mid-pack. They're into the stretch. Western Hero has got the top. Western Hero, Gifted Cowboy, Western Pursuit, Noble Ho, too little, too late. Western Hero tight for second. Ninth race, 3, Western Hero. 3-year-old bay colt by Western Hanover out of Leah Elmerhurst. Owned by Brittany Farms of Versailles, Kentucky. Trained by Alan Rigo. Driven tonight wire to wire by Jeff Fout. Covering the mile in 1:53.2. That will equal his lifetime best. Number 3, Western Hero, the winner of tonight's 9th race. Windows are now up and on race 10, second division of the Director of Agriculture pace, 25,400. Field of 8 and no changes. Post time will be 13 minutes away at 10:05. 3-2 exact to 31.60. 3-2-1 try, 2:33.60. Post time 13 minutes away, 10:05. Top down, Western Pursuit third, Gifted Cowboy second, Western Hero the winner, Grin Reaper was seventh, Noble Chairman sixth, Call Me Nuke eighth, Noble Ho fourth, Western Gentleman was fifth. Pace 25,400, second of 3 divisions. The final one goes in race 12. Here's the field for the 10th one, Sam's Gold. Owned by Carl Atley, Chip Noble drives. Number 2, No Doubter. Owned by Jim Arledge and George Smith with Del S. Miller. 3 is Thunder Dan, owned by Neil and Betty Bauer, and the driver is Kenny Holiday. 4, Beat Us, owned by Harold Breedenbach and Robert Keller and Joe Adamski. Number 5, Whittingham, owned by Dick McCumber and C.Ed Mullinax with Ricky McCumber. 6 is D.C. Falcon, owned by Jeffrey and Kevin Reed and Dean Collins, driven by David Miller. Number 7 is Wanna Rumble, owned by Charles W. Miller and Michael Buffer with Brad Hanners. Number 7, Wanna Rumble. Number 8 is Diamond Crest, owned by Rhonda Stidham, Linda May, and Robert Timmons. Rocky Stidham will be in the sulky. Happy birthday wishes going out to Rocky Stidham. 6 minutes till post time. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Sam's Gold takes the lead, and everybody is pylon bound. They're down the backstretch. Column 1 through 8, Sam's Gold, No Doubter, Thunder Dan. Beat Us, Whittingham, DC Falcon, Wanna Rumble, and Diamond Crest. On their way to the quarter-mile pole, Sam's Gold, hoping things will pan out, gets an uncontested lead. No Doubter, Thunder Dan, Beat Us, Whittingham. DC Falcon, Wanna Rumble. The tailgate sitter is Diamond Crest, 27-3. Racing past the stands to the half-mile pole, Whittingham starts the action from mid-pack, and he is absolutely flying up on the outside. Sam's Gold grabbing leather. Whittingham now brushes to the front. Whittingham, power sweep, gets the lead. Sam's Gold is back into second. No Doubter, Thunder Dan. Beat Us, DC Falcon, Wanna Rumble, and Diamond Crest. They're flying past the half in a sharp 56-1 up the backstretch. Whittingham by 2. Sam's Gold is now the prompter in second. No Doubter, Thunder Dan, Beat Us. DC Falcon yet to fly, now comes to the outside. Wanna Rumble and Diamond Crest. 3/8 of a mile to pace. Here comes Beat Us on the outside. But it's Whittingham who will get the three-quarter call. Sam's Gold will now wait for the passing lane, 124-3. Driving around the far turn. Whittingham on top. Here's Thunder Dan driving up on the outside second. Sam's Gold is into third. Far outside, DC Falcon as the field straightens away. Whittingham on top. Here comes Thunder Dan with a rush down the middle of the racetrack. Thunder Dan now gets the lead. Whittingham is fighting back with every stride, but Thunder Dan now gets the lead. Here's the unofficial winner of tonight's 10th race in a huge mile, 152 and 4-3, Thunder Dan. A 3-year-old bay gelding by Nobleland Sam out of Chairman Jenny owned in Bay Village, Ohio by Neil and Betty Bauer. Trained by Gary 2R Martin, driven by Kenny Holliday. In honor of Thunder Dan Keidel, number 3, Thunder Dan, the winner of tonight's 10th race. Mr. Fred Daly, the Director of Agriculture in the winner's circle for his trophy presentation. 3-5 exacta returning $45.20. 3-5-2 trifecta, $259.40. Next post at 10:23. That will be in less than 13 minutes. Down Sam's Gold fourth, No Doubter third. Thunder Dan the winner and Beat Us fifth. Whittingham second. DC Falcon sixth. Wanna Rumble was eighth. Diamond Crest seventh. Tap down 4-3-1-5-2-6. Comes the field of open pacers in tonight's 11th race in a field of 7, number 1. Fantastic Frisky, owned by Kermit Buddy Travis. Del S. Miller drives. 2, Casino Cam, owned by Victorian John Howard and K. Joanne Nichols. And the Hawkman 3, Our General, owned by Kevin and Jeffrey Reed, driven by Dean Collins. Number 4 is Noble Sam, owned by Vince Rakestraw, Greg Rudowski, and Vince Miller. David Miller will be aboard. 5 is Eyes of Tiger, owned by John Morris, Robert Morris, Mike Wilder in the bike. 6, Corporal Baker, owned by Robert Markell, driven by Jody Essex. 7 is Arm Bro Nate, owned by Robert Deal. Jeff Fout will bring this guy out of post position number 7. 5 minutes till post. Motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Casino Cam between horses takes the lead. Eyes of Tiger driving up on the far outside. Fantastic Frisky along the rail. Noble Sam with Our General, Corporal Baker, and Armbro Nate driving to the quarter-mile pole. Eyes of Tiger for Mike Wilder gets the lead. Not for long, no. Casino Cam drives the command on the outside. Casino Cam and Eyes of Tiger heads apart for the lead in 27-1. Racing off that top turn past the stands. 3 horses are now across the track vying for command. Here's Noble Sam on the outside, sweeping to the front. Casino Cam starching him pretty good in second. Eyes of Tiger doubled up in third. The Roan is fourth. Fantastic Frisky, followed by Our General, Corporal Baker, and Armbro Nate, and they're skating to the half-mile pole. Up top, Noble Sam has got the lead. Casino Cam, the stalker, followed by the early pace setter, Eyes of Tiger, and they're at the half in a solid 55-1. Mike Wilder flips the pocket, comes to the outside. Eyes of Tiger up on the outside along the rail. Noble Sam is in the second, followed by Casino Cam in third. Wide and driving Fantastic Frisky, now uncovered from fourth. Here's Our General and the Corporal, both leaving boot camp, and Armbro Nate flying by 3/4 in 123-1. Round the far turn. Eyes of Tiger the one to catch. Noble Sam doing his best in second. Between horses, Fantastic Frisky. Nowhere to go for Casino Cam. Here's Our General finding his best stride on the outside. Better take a long look at the 3. Our General on the outside, picking him up and laying him down quickest of all. Our General on the far outside with Corporal Baker coming late. Here comes the unofficial winner of race number 11, number 6, Corporal Baker. 6-year-old brown son of No Nukes out of Tarport, Victoria. Owned in Ottawa Lake, Michigan by Robert Markell. Trained by Mike Roth. Driven tonight by Jody Essick from Worst to First. Covering the mountain 153-1 to establish a lifetime best. 6, Corporal Baker, the unofficial winner of tonight's 11th race. Win official will go to the 12th. Tap Down Fantastic Frisky was third. Casino Cam, 5th Hour General second. Noble Sam, 6th. Eyes of Tiger, 4th. Corporal Baker, the winner. Armbro Nate, 7th. 352, 64, 1 and 7. And the mile was 153 and 1. Here comes the field for tonight's 12th race as the Ohio State Fair Stakes continue. Kathy McDonald brings him to the post, and one is Fortune on Hold, owned by Herbert Miller, Richard Garner, and Don Tracy with Chip Noble. Number 2 is Hercules Sabra, owned by Jerome Grogan with Jeff Fout. 3 Select Gem, owned by Daniel Boggs and Jody Essig. 4 Cannonball Sabra, owned by Charles Miller with Dave Hawk aboard. Number 5 is Gleave, owned and driven by Fred Huff. 6 Haley's Yak Yak, owned by John Roby, Gary Chafin, Benson Alba, and the driver is Brad Hanner. 7 is Kyle's Falcon, owned by Ken Summer with David Miller. Number 8 is Attaboy Charlie, owned by Joanna and Charles Bieber, William and Florence Ostat, Bill Walters in the sulky. Post time in 5 minutes. On their way back to the starting gate. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Cannonball Sabra takes the lead. Hercules Sabra toward the rail. There goes Select Gem to the pylons in third. Kyle's Falcon flying high on the extreme outside. Underway to the quarter-mile pole. Haley's Yak Yak, Fortune on Hold is next. Gleave is up on the outside. Attaboy Charlie watching these fast festivities from the back of the pack as they fly to the quarter-mile pole. Cannonball Sabra shot early, leads the way in. 27 and 1, racing past the stands to the half-mile pole. Cannonball Sabra's got the top. Cannonball by 2. Tucked in there second, Hercules Sabra. Select Gem skimming the pylons in third. Gleave on the outside fourth, and Haley's Yak Yak is under a double purple. Baby Nelson fifth. Fortune on Hold drives up on the outside. Kyle's Falcon needs an aerial attack, and Attaboy Charlie rides the tailgate. They're at the half-mile pole in 56 and 4. Cannonball Sabra bouncing along continues to lead the way. Hercules Sabra's got many perils from here. Moving up on the outside, Gleave. Select Gem is fighting back along the rail. Fortune on Hold, the steady gainer on the outside. Haley's Yak Yak is still doubled up. A little bit rough on the outside. That's Fortune on Hold. Kyle's Falcon and Attaboy Charlie wide open here, and the Hawkman's got him flying now in 125 and 1 around the far turn. Still in command. He's been there every step of the way. Cannonball Sabra. Hercules Sabra cocked, locked, and ready to rock. Here comes Select Gem. Off the turn in the stretch. They're on their way home. The Sabras are 1-2. Select Gem comes to the passing lane. Hercules Sabra up on the outside. Cannonball Sabra on the rail. Select Gem is not good enough. Driving finish. Cannonball Sabra holds on. It's now official and a huge night for Dave Hawk. Cannonball Sabra, 3-year-old bay gelding by Towner's Big Guide of Cool Sabra. Owned in Napoleon by Charles W. Miller, trained by Max Shaw, giving them doubles tonight. Dave Hawk, that's the cart trick. Winning 3 big stakes tonight. Number 4, Cannonball Sabra in a lifetime best, 153 and 4. Mr. Fred Daly, Director of Agriculture, in the winner's circle for tonight's 12th race trophy presentation. Field of 5 will go in the final pick 3. Post time at 11:01. 4-2 exacta, $14.20. $14.20 and the try, $313.60. Top down in the 12th, Fortune on Hold 8th, Hercules Sabra 2nd, Select Gem 4th, Cannonball the winner, Gleave 7th, Haley's Yak Yak 5th, Kyle's Falcon 3rd, Attaboy Charlie was 6th. 8-2-4, 1-7-5, 3 and 6 in the mile, 1. quintet of the older guys out on the track for tonight's 13th race. We have 3 more to go. That means it is the start of the final pick 3. Sponsored by Budget Car and Truck Rental. Here is the field. Number 1, Light Source, owned by Weco Investments and Tony Clyer, and the driver is Chip Noble. Number 2 is Meadowland Sam, owned by Tamara Hoovler and Mike Metters, and the driver is David Miller. 3, Travis Hanover, owned by the White Creek Stable with Rainsman Dave Hawk. 4, Castleton Ace, owned by James Eric Yellow, Mike Wilder aboard. 5, Metropolis, owned by Ralph Conley Jr. Brad Hanners will be in the sulky. Field for race 13, post time in. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Metropolis far outside. Meadowland Sam, Light Source, Travis Hanover, Castleton Ace. That's the quintet down the backstretch. Pretty good clip here to the first 1/8 of a mile. Metropolis being stung pretty good. Meadowland Sam putting this guy out to dry as they roll to the quarter-mile pole. The closers are absolutely salivating here, and this one will be under 27 seconds as they fly by the opening quarter-mile pole. Meadowland Sam, oh my God, 26 flat in parade, past the stands, driving on the outside. Metropolis now gets the lead. Metropolis moves away on top by 2. Meadowland Sam is in the second. Light Source picks it up in third. After that, Travis Hanover in fourth and Castleton Ace to the outside. Action galore here as this field of 5 is now being spread eagle through the clubhouse turn. Up top, it's Metropolis. Light Source is now the first to move. 54-3 out of the turn and down the backstretch. We'll see if Metropolis, game as he is, can lead after being scorched to the quarter in 26.5 and 54-3. Off the 5/8 heading to the final quarter. Metropolis shows his heels to the field. Light Source on the outside saying, what? Nearest the rail, Meadowland Sam. Here's Travis Hanover on the far outside, and don't count out Castleton Ace just yet. 3/4 a quick 1:23-2. 2 lengths separates this field of 5 as the field straightens away. Metropolis ready to come down the lowest lane. Off the turn, in the stretch, they're on their way home. It is Metropolis being hard driven. Metropolis, Meadowland Sam. Travis Hanover, the Hawkman, bidding for 4, but Brad Hanners is now under the whip. Meadowland Sam is closing in. Metropolis, though, in a huge mile, wins it, 1:53. Here's your unofficial winner. Number 5, Metropolis. 4-year-old brown horse by Matt Scooter out of Sabella Lobel by Most Happy Fella. Owned in Miamisburg by Ralph Conley Jr., trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., driven by Brad Hanners. Covering the mile here in 1:53. Number 5, Metropolis, the unofficial winner, as Team Morgan strikes here in race 13. Windows open up here for race 14. Exact and trifecta, field of 9, no changes in race 14. 15th and final, the superfecta, will also have a field of 9. 23. Field for tonight's 14th race coming out onto the track. Exact and trifecta wagering. Number 1 is Samarama, owned by Mary Ann Georges, Otis Day and the Knights, and Do You Mind If I Dance with Your Date Stable with Brad Hanners. 2 is Soft Pride, owned by Denny and Joni Centers, driven by Jack Daly. 3 is Princeton Spur, owned by Charles Autry and Jody Essig. 4 is Shannon Partner, owned by Woody Woodward, Molly Bush, and driver Brett Merkel, who will be aboard. 5 is Too Much Monkey Business, owned by Roy Murphy and Larry King. Randy Tharps in the bike. 6, Who's Your Whiz, owned by the White Creek Stable and Dave Hawk. 7, Lord Tinsel, owned by Doug Parker, Harry Berger, and Craig Parker with Darren Mauser. Number 8, Tyler's Big Mark, owned by Doug Riston and Ralph Riogande. 9, KL's Sharpshooter, owned by Tony, but better call me Tin Cup, where Ken Holiday will be in the sulky. Field for tonight's 14th race. Field's in motion. Gate is moving. All lined up. They're on their way, and Soft Pride takes the lead, and Samarama along the rail. Here comes Who's Your Whiz. Middle of the racetrack, Lord Tinsel. Further out, Tyler's Big Mark and KL Sharpshooter, 5 deep to the turn. After that comes Princeton Spur, Shannon Partner, and the Gray. Too Much Monkey Business, and we're off to the rodeo in here. Hoosier Whiz on the outside of Soft Pride and Samarama. Here's Tyler's Big Mark rolling by the opening quarter, 27 flat. Past the stands to the half mile, we're already in 2 tiers. Hoosier Whiz brushes to the front as the 6-5 favorite. Hoosier Whiz on top, Soft Pride second. Lord Tinsel hanging from the tree in third. Around the clubhouse turns Samarama, saving ground every step in fourth. Tyler's Big Mark live covered, driving up on the outside. Kenny Holiday and the KL Sharpshooter. Nowhere to go, Princeton Spur, Shannon Partner, and the Gray. Too Much Monkey Business. He'll have to swing from vine to vine to get any part of this. 56-1, a pretty good tempo down the backstretch. Hoosier Whiz will try to last on the front end. Soft Pride, the long shot in second. Lord Tinsel attacking between rivals third. On the far outside, Tyler's Big Mark. Samarama leads some Otis Day in the Night Room. Driving up on the far outside comes KL Sharpshooter, the Gray. Too Much Monkey Business, Princeton Spur, and at the end, Shannon Partner. 125-3. 5 lengths separates this field at the head of the stretch. Hoosier Whiz on top. Soft Pride better take a long look at the Mau Samarama Ding Dong, who's waiting for the passing lane. He's now flying 100. It's Hoosier Whiz. Samarama is still coming, but not good enough. 4-bagger Dave Hawk. Hoosier Whiz. Samarama and Princeton Spur third. Official winner of tonight's 14th race, number 6. Hoosier Whiz, 7-year-old bay horse by Abercrombie out of Way to Be, owned by Bill White's White Creek Stable of Palm Beach Garden, Florida, trained by Ron Potter. Driven tonight by Dave Hawk, wire to wire, 154-4. Number 6, Hoosier Whiz, the unofficial winner of race 14. We've got one more to go on the card, the Superfecta. Dave Hawk having a huge night, victory number 4. That's the cart trick +1 for Dave Hawk and Hoosier Whiz. 6-1 exact, $11.40. $11.40 in the try, $55. Post time will be at 17 minutes at 11:45. No changes in race 15. In tonight's 15th and final race, number 1 is Attaboy John, owned by Robert McCurdy. Gary DeBoard will be aboard. Number 2, Alante Spur, owned by Alex Spence Jr., and the driver is Dave Hawk. 3, Boyle Almahurst, owned by Victoria Howard. The driver is David Miller. Number 4, Max Public Enemy, owned by James Novak. Michael Ogle, driver Phil Cunningham. Number 5 is Golden Delivery, owned by Jeff Gibson. Jeff Fout will be in the bike. 6 is He's Promising, owned by Charles Curran Jr. and Ryan Holton. 7, Rambo Robbie, owned by Tom Ryan and Randy Tharps. 8, Yankee Gourmet, owned by Charles Autry with Jody Essig. 9, TNT Hanover, owned by Mel Riviello, Randy Owens, and Richard Van Meter. Mike Wilder will be in the sulky. That is the field for tonight's 15th race. Field is now in motion, and there they go. They're off and pacing. Boyle Almahurst like a shot right to the front. Golden Delivery is in the second. Here's Rambo Robbie pressing on the outside third. Along the rail, Attaboy John from fourth. Alante Spur after that, Max Public Enemy. As they make their way to the top turn. Driving away on top from the outside, it's Boyle Almahurst, the length and a half. Golden Delivery is in there second, Rambo Robbie third. Moving by the opening quarter in a quick 26-4. Moving past the stands in fourth. Attaboy John underway, Alante Spur. 2 more lengths to Max Public Enemy. He's Promising settles in seventh. Yankee Gourmet will have to cook from eighth at a half 100-1. TNT Hanover has now got an original journey from the back of the pack. Around the clubhouse turn of the half-mile pole. Boyle Almahurst leads the way. Golden Delivery is second. Here comes Rambo Robbie again. Attaboy John saving ground in fourth. Alante Spur the attacker fifth. Max Public Enemy, He's Promising. Far outside, Yankee Gourmet and TNT Hanover, 58-2. Down the backstretch, Boyle Elmerhurst is going to try to repel the challenge of Rambo Robbie and does. Boyle Elmerhurst is now under a double purple Baby Nelson. Golden Delivery is second. Rambo Robbie gives way grudgingly third. Alante Spur is up on the outside. Attaboy John still fighting back. Max Public Enemy, he's promising a seventh. Between horses, TNT Hanover, Yankee Gourmet, ninth on the outside. 3/4 and a quick 126 and 2. Boyle Elmerhurst brings him on home. Boyle Elmerhurst rocks on top. Driving up on the outside, Golden Delivery. Here's a four-bagger for Dave Miller. It's going to be Boyle Elmerhurst, Golden Delivery, Attaboy John, and 6 he's promising fourth. Even. Top down, Attaboy John third, Alante Spur eighth, Boyle Elmerhurst the winner, Max Public Enemy